attention.
1, 2. And check. Home of the greats in Mecca, we in the building where we only make legends. The city where stars are born is just the style. From Hoodie Mello, Charles Oakley to Chris Child. You know Gotham gritty, the city that never sleeps, cause that's the cousin of death. The city not for the weak, cause all we do is compete. It's for the boroughs, we keeping it G. And you know we keep it thorough, rest in peace to Prodigy. Mob Deep.
From the lights of Madison Square Garden to the heartbeat of every bellow. I felt that energy. I carried it.
Yo, what up, folks? What's going on? This is MBK Nothing But Knicks on the network. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Gotham Grit podcast. This is your boy, Trey Fraser, here in the building tonight. Special shout out to the homie Sim Russell, the old architect of this whole thing right here. Shout out to everybody else, Tony Crow, Diehard Eru, everybody that contributes to this network. We appreciate you. Also to the fans that watch us, also to the people in the chats, which I expect the chats to be a little bit live tonight. We appreciate you as well. Gonna be a good evening, gonna be a good show today. I am expecting a panel of some folks here, and I titled this episode Knicks Championship Parade Recap. And for those of you that don't know or missed the show last week, I did attend the Knicks Championship Parade in New York last Thursday, and I got to tell you guys, it was one of the craziest events, craziest experiences that I've had as a Knicks fan who, you know, for the first time in my life, got to see the Knicks win a championship, but also be involved in a ticker tape parade for the city and for the team. So I definitely want to celebrate some of those experiences with you guys. And for the folks that's in the chats, if you went to the parade, let me know what your experience was like. I'm sure it was dope. I'm sure, you know, it was a day. It definitely was a long day for most of us, depending on how you traveled, whether you're out of town, whether you live in the city or you live in the tri-state area, however you got there. Some of the craziest things you've seen. Yeah, share it in the chat. We love to hear exactly, you know, what was going on there. So let me start off the show by saying this is a normal, let me not say normal. This is a very unusual time for me to be doing Gotham Grit podcast on a Tuesday, 6:30 Eastern time. The reason for that is because normally Sim likes to do the draft show, which, you know, it feels kind of odd given the Knicks have won a championship and given that the Knicks historically have been, you know, up high in the draft, but hasn't been like that for quite some time now. And especially now that the Knicks are coming off this championship, we're picking number 24. I think we're going to be picking in the 50s, I think the 30s. So 24, 31, and number 55, I think, are the Knicks draft picks for tonight's draft, which I think starts at 8 o'clock this evening. So that's why I'm on here early, just to kind of get my show out of the way so that Sim could come on, if he is coming on, to do his draft show, to talk a little bit about what to expect from the Knicks in the draft, what to expect from some of the other teams in the draft here. And I won't go too much on some of the other teams, but as you know, the blockbuster deal that happened earlier this morning, or, you know, I guess you could say late last night, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak, has been traded to the Miami Heat, along with Bobby Portis, for, I believe it was 3 draft picks and 3 players. I think Jaime Jaquez was one player, Khalil Ware was the other player, and I believe Tyler Hero was the third player in that deal. So, you know, Miami Heat looking to, you know, shake things up in the Eastern Conference. It doesn't look like they're done with their roster construction just yet, because even though they got one of the best players in the league, there's still, you know, some moving to be done with that roster. I mean, they sent 3 players over to Milwaukee, so obviously they got to figure out how to replace those players and the contributions that they made. So, you have that move, and then you got the Julius Randle kind of returning back to the New York City tri-state area, just except not for the Knicks. This is actually going to be for the Brooklyn Nets, who made a trade with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And we kind of saw this coming. We knew that after the playoff, appearance by the Timberwolves this past season, that there was some talk that Julius could get traded. I didn't think he'd be traded to the Nets. I thought maybe Minnesota might be in the Giannis sweepstakes, but that's neither here nor there at this point. But Julius Randle does go to the Brooklyn Nets, and it's kind of ironic because that's kind of how the Knicks got back to being relevant, was them signing Julius Randle back in 2019. That whole offseason where we thought we were going to get KD, we thought we were going to get Kyrie Irving, and it didn't work out. And Julius, signed a deal with the team. And Julius was a part of the renaissance of this New York Knicks team, some years ago. So it's kind of ironic that he's coming back to New York to try to do the same thing similarly with the Nets now. The Nets are certainly far, far and away from a championship, but I do think that the Nets are no longer tanking. I think the Nets right now are trying to build something. They did send Nick Claxton in a trade for Julius Randle. You still got Michael Porter Jr. there in Brooklyn as well. So you do have a couple of veteran players in Brooklyn along with some younger players, and then you got to see what they do in tonight's draft. So you got to see what's going on there. So Julius Randle back in NYC, sort of, except he's across the bridge at Barclays Center. We'll see how that shakes out to be. But I want to get to some Knicks news before I start going into the championship parade thing. So, and I'm glad they did this. I'm really happy for this guy, Mo Diawara, restricted free agent, multi-year deal, $10 million plus, to return to the team on a really, really friendly deal. He was the 51st pick in the draft last season, and you saw some things out of Mo Diawara this year. Thank God for Mike Brown, coaching this team. I'm not sure if Tibbs was still a coach that we would even get to this point with Mo Diawara, but we got to see a lot of Mo Diawara during the regular season. And I got to say, for a bench player, there's certainly a ceiling that I think this guy can grow into. I definitely believe, because we seen him with a little bit of handles. We saw him play some defense. We saw him rebound really well. We saw him go to the rack several different times with some nice slams, and we saw him shoot the 3 ball. I wouldn't say, the greatest, but he's got the ability to shoot the 3 ball quite well. So he could do a number of things. And I think with the uncertainty of our current bench situation, and I'm talking players 6 through 9, that Mo Diawara could certainly jump into that top portion of the bench and continue to grow as a player and be somebody that is reliable coming off the bench. So I think this is a really good signing for the Knicks, to have this guy on a deal like this, where we don't risk losing him for the foreseeable future. So congrats to Mo Diawara on a team friendly deal. Again, it's he's a bench player. I don't want to go too crazy about it, but we're gonna need some of that. We're gonna need some of that growth off the bench. And the Knicks drafted this guy, and you definitely want to see what he is made of, throughout this coming season, particularly in the regular season. So, all right, y'all. So, as I continue to wait on maybe a couple of people to join the panel here, maybe they'll show up, maybe they won't. But I definitely wanted to showcase some of the experience that I had at the championship parade last week, which and some of you, most of you might not know, but I am in the Baltimore area, so I definitely had to travel a distance, not a long distance, just 3 hours on the Amtrak, 10 o'clock at night, which was a crazy ordeal in itself. I went about maybe 24 hours without any sleep whatsoever since getting on that train Wednesday evening. But the ride was cool. Um, Train usually stops in Philly for 3 hours. That's usually the overnight train, coming from Baltimore going to New York, is that the train stops in Philly for 3 hours. It takes a break. Train crews are switching train crews with other people, and then it continues to New York roughly 3:30, and then it gets to New York about 5 o'clock in the morning. So that worked out in itself. So this was just a shot of me on the E train actually coming from Penn Station after I got off of the Amtrak. So that was kind of one of my, worries was, getting to the subway and it being so crowded. And around this time, 5 o'clock, it wasn't even really that crowded all that much. It was a nice, train ride, took it down to the Trade Center and then, got off the train. This was sort of what the crowd looked like around about 5:50 a.m. Thursday morning, getting ready for the parade. So, subways wasn't too crazy, which was good. So I get to the parade route, and um unfortunately, and this is kind of disappointing because shout out to the homie Sim. I was supposed to meet up with Sim and the crew at the parade route, and I got off the train, got out the station, and they already had stuff barricaded, blocked off. And there's a thing called the Charging Bull. It's a statue right across from Bowling Green, downtown Manhattan, and they had the Charging Bull blocked off with the barricade. So I couldn't get to the spot. Ended up going a block over to Broad Street and then going up one block to Exchange Place. And I got to tell you, um, this is one of the prime spots to watch the parade, believe it or not. So that was around about 6 o'clock that morning, and that was the line. Yeah, that line was mad long. This line was going towards the parade route. And for people that and I'm sure you saw this days coming to the parade, that the city decided to give out a no bag policy, which kind of sucked for some people, particularly myself, because I'm coming 3 hours away, and I gotta have my bag with me. I gotta have, the survival kit. I gotta have the deodorant, the toothbrush and toothpaste. I gotta have two cold bottles of water with me and a tripod to, take some footage, get some content. You know what I'm saying? So that was a bit disappointing, that I knew that if I would have gotten in line to get to the parade route, that chances are they were going to turn me right back around because of the bag I had. Another side of me was ready to ditch everything I had in the bag, but I was like, you know what? This is a very nice corner right here. So this was Broad Street and Exchange Place, which was a block away from the parade route on Broadway. And this was a little bit later in the morning. letting some people through. Further up, you're gonna see. Oh, that's not the wrong. What was at the end of the? Oh, here we go. I want to show you something. So further down the street, so you see the I Love New York Gifts corner store there. Over to the left, there's some stairs going up, and that's the street. That's Broadway. That was the parade route. And as you see people trying to go down the street, there's barricades and there's police officers right at the corner there, letting only a few people in at a time. They couldn't let everybody get in line. There was an actual gap between the crowd that you see right there and then the crowd that's further up the street there. And they had metal detectors up that way. So they was only letting a few people in at a time. So that situation kind of was what it was. Where I'm coming from, I'm opposite the corner there. I'm standing right on a concrete bench. That bench probably about a foot and a half high. Stood on top of it, got some footage, and just decided, you know what? Right there, that's the best spot right there. Like that was to me, looking down that street, that was going to be the best spot that I was going to get, and I could not afford to lose that spot. And I'm gonna, go through one more. I'm gonna go through one more video before I let my homeboy get in here. So we got a panel started up, and I see some folks here in the chat. So I'll shout you out really soon. So this is when it got real crazy here. This is where it got crazy, y'all. This is probably 7:30, 8 o'clock. We got boxed in, y'all. There was at this point, there was nowhere to move. There was really no place to, couldn't maneuver anywhere, could not go anywhere. This was it. This was really the spot right here. So, needless to say, I don't think the city really estimated the exact amount of people that was going to show up at this parade. I'm really not sure if they really, thought about this carefully, but they probably could have extended the parade route. They probably could have did that. So, neither here nor there. I'm going to kind of remove this for a second here, give a couple shout outs, and then let my guy Dan the Man jump in here real quick. So salute to you, Nostalgic Nick number 7. Appreciate you as always. That was that was the reaction to the crowd, reaction to the amount of people that was trying to get down the street, but they let people stay back. Everybody could not get into the parade route. That's just exactly what it was. So get my guy in here, man. Dan the Man was popping, B. What's going on?
Hey man, hey Trey, thank you for having me on this evening. Just sitting back listening to you as I was backstage, and I just seeing that just took me right back to that day.
Yeah.
And it was such a good day, a long day, an early day. So for you all out there, Trey just pretty much showed you, what the outside of the parade was like, right? That whole, you're talking about these are the people that decided to come to the parade at 7:30, 8 a.m. No.
Yeah.
No. All right. Myself, who was inside of the parade, who has a lot of footage on my phone. I haven't even had the time to just put it down and put it out there. Fun fact, the reason why I was where I was is because of Trey. I was supposed to be meeting Trey at the Raging Bull. And, I'm like, cool. I got up 5 a.m. You understand? I was out the door by 6. I was at the parade by 6:30. I was in line by 6:45. They let me in by about 6:58. And from that point on, we just got word that they were shutting it down. So for all those people, and I don't know if Trey told y'all, but they were shutting down subway stations. They wasn't even allowing you to get off.
Oh, yeah.
They was blocking them off. They was roping them off. So the train wasn't even stopping at those particular stops. So, you know, for the fans that were in attendance, that was able to get on the inside of the parade, like myself, and had a fabulous time, and even where Trey was, where he had a great position right in that spot where he can catch the view, you know, and be able to record. Now I feel bad because if I had got there a little bit earlier and let Trey know, he probably could have got in with the bag. One of the things that they told us in coming to the parade, you know, it was no bags allowed, no book bags, no purses, no nothing, what do you call them, fanny packs, none of that, right?
Yeah.
Only, and I understand why they were doing it, because they wanted to make sure that they can control as much as they could control as possible.
Yeah.
However, it was people in there with bags. You know what I'm saying? It was people in there with all kind of stuff. So it's unfortunate because, you know, Trey, we could have probably been right at the same spot, because I was right at, you know, the corner. I sent him the corner. He got the picture. You know?
Yeah, you was what was that? Morris and
Broadway, baby.
Morris and
Broadway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right at the corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the Raging Bull was right in sight. It was right there in the square, in the triangle. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Shout out to, you know, all the Knicks fans. I mean, you know, they can't even guesstimate how many millions of people it was. And make no mistake about it, we're not talking about hundreds of thousands. And, you know, there's even some pictures out there on the internet that tried to compare it to like Boston and Golden State and and everywhere else. And they wanted to try to use like pictures where it shows the earlier stages of people coming. You know, it don't show you the aftermath or how many people eventually came, because again, some New Yorkers was like, man, we'll get there about 8:30 and should be good. No.
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 Got no better than that. And you know, the thing is too, Dan, because I'm from the city and everything, so I'm real familiar with the subways, and we got so many lines here. You know, we got so many lines in the city, and my whole thinking was get off the Amtrak, and I'm right there, 8th Avenue. You know, there's 3 lines on the 8th Avenue. It's the A, C, and the E lines, right? So the A is an express line. The E and the C are more local. They stop local stops and stuff. But my mindset was, I'm just going to get on the first train, regardless of what line it was.
Right.
But I also knew that the E and the A, they both go to different destinations. It was going to take me downtown, but the A was going to swerve off and the E was just going to kind of keep going toward the Trade Center. So I'm thinking now to myself, if it was the A train that came first, I would have probably ended up somewhere different along the route.
100%.
But the E came first. And, you know, and again, for the sake of time, because I got to the station and I waited a good 13, 14 minutes.
That's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. You know, I was waiting for whatever line came first. It didn't matter to me as long as I was able to make my way downtown. But I think that's probably the difference, because, you know, some of the folks that I met you later in the day, but
right.
I got to see some of my other folks, and it seemed like they were all on one side of the parade route and I was on the other side of the parade route, right? So yeah, now that I think about it, man, had that been the A train first, I probably would have been on a different side of the route. Even if I didn't get all the way into the route, even if I didn't go through the metal detectors, I would have been closest to y'all than where I was.
Yeah.
But needless to say,
you still weren't far. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't far. I wasn't far at all.
You still weren't far. You were right around the corner. It was just, I was like, oh man, I don't know how he's going to get through this. And
I had to walk south to Battery Park, because that's what they made everybody do. They made everybody walk south toward Battery Park, because that's the beginning of the route.
Right.
And then you cut over through the park, past it, and then you're going up West Street, which is considered the West Side Highway, which is where the World Trade Center is, right off the street there. So I had to go down, over, and up again just to get across Broadway. So it was wild, man. It was some wild stuff.
Wild. I mean, I feel like I got my miles in for sure, because leaving the parade, it was just all you saw was people. As far as the eye could see, all you saw was people, and you were not. We stayed in Times Square, and it wasn't getting no Uber anywhere near.
Oh, hell no.
It was no, trying to get on a city bike, because I rode the city bike down from Times Square. So, I jumped on a city bike. A couple people that was with me, we jumped on the city bikes and took it straight on down.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, easy route. We saw the buses as they were coming down, where it was empty. You know what I'm saying? Where they was setting it up. So,
yeah.
We was too busy trying to figure out how we can get on one of those buses. You know what I'm saying? So, so we was about to leave the city bikes where they were if they had said, yeah, come on, hop on. So yeah, we got down to, Battery Park, and then that's when it got crazy. That's when you had to get off the bike and kind of walk it, because you couldn't ride anywhere. You know what I mean? So, and that's literally how it was, even leaving. Like I saw people try to get city bikes, and all you could do is just walk it through the crowd or take it and put it right back, because you're not doing anything. So
you're not doing much of anything at that point.
Not at all.
Yeah. So I wanted to share a couple funny moments here that I got on video here, because so this was roughly about say about 8 in the morning here. So this is my site. So again, Exchange Place, Broad Street. You see the sirens, you see the ambulance, and they're trying to get through the crowd here.
It's a no-go. It's nowhere to go.
Right. I'm like, I don't know if somebody made a call and they had to come downtown, but they wasn't getting nowhere.
Nowhere. I mean, like there's nowhere to go. Like the streets were flooded. I don't think that's what people understand.
Yeah.
There was no driving, riding, skateboarding, none of that. Scooter, none of that.
And as my fellow New Yorkers like to do, man, they like to boo whenever these things happen. So the crowd was booing as these emergency vehicles was trying to enter through the crowd.
They had to give them a different route to go, and they had to know that.
There was no route. There was no route.
You have to go completely outside of it like this. If there is an emergency, right? And as we can see here, we've been talking for already 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
Yep.
If there's a real emergency or somebody really needs to go to the hospital,
yeah, you have to walk them. You have to walk them to the back of the ambulance or something.
They would have had to airlift them up out of there, send in the choppers.
Yep. Right. Get that medevac up in there.
Send the choppers, because it's
on the
not
ground.
And even when he gets through, right? Even when this ambulance gets through, he's not going to be able to come back.
No, not at all.
So, because the more you said, this is 8:00. You know how many more people came after that?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That street, and I never got a chance to look down that street there because I was posted up. I never got a chance to look down there, but I was wondering how far backed up that street was with a bunch of people, because there may be about 2 more blocks of street down that way that I could almost guarantee you was flooded with people that was trying to wait to get to the parade, and they couldn't get in. Could not.
And I will say this about them not letting more people in, because we had room, we had space, and it's the gift and the curse, right? Because looking at this crowd right now, would I have wanted that crowd in front of me as I'm looking at the parade? No. Could it have been? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Could they have let more people in? Absolutely. We had room. If you
Mm.
have room to walk through, you know what I'm saying, up and down
Right.
the street
Yeah.
to get to work, because, you know, they closed the restaurants, most of them. The
Mm-hmm.
subway was open by us, so that was our bathroom access. But the line for the bathroom, and it was only one bathroom, was ridiculous.
Hey,
So,
I'm better than somebody. I'm better than most, bro. I didn't have to use the bathroom not one time that I was out there for the 6 hours that I was out there, bro. I made sure when I was on that Amtrak, I had a bottle of water with me, used the bathroom once on the train, got to Philly. The train sat for 3 hours in Philly. Used the bathroom 2 times there. And then my body it's just like my body knew at that moment you ain't going for another 6-7 hours. So
nah.
you good. So I was good in that department. Like I didn't feel like I had to go that badly throughout those 6-7 hours I was standing out there.
True. And I think for us, it was the luxury of having it right next to us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it was that luxury, because
that's true.
some people were going in, you know, getting food and stuff. You know, you try to refuel this, that, and the third. So the fact that where we were and how they had it barricaded in, you know, they called them pins. FYI, for people that don't know this, any certain sections within the parade where they had you blocked off from block to block, street to street or across, they labeled them as pins. So we was in the pen.
Right.
You understand? Everybody was in the pen. You know, understand the wording, people. You know what I'm saying? They trying to let you know, you know, just in case of, you know, any type of emergency situations, we have these pens.
Yep.
All right. So in our particular pen, it was only so many people. So whoever was in that pen used that subway, because that subway restaurant was in our pen. So if anybody wanted to, say, for instance, somebody was right across the street and was like, man, I'm looking at the subway and I know it's a bathroom over there, you'd have to cross the parade in order to get to the subway, and that ain't happening.
That wasn't happening.
That's not happening. You're not getting anywhere in there. So
you're getting tackled the moment you step out there.
100%. So I mean, they tackled Tyler Kolick. So of course they would have tackled me. You understand what I'm saying? So you know, in saying all of that, it was like our own personal, of the hundreds of people, or, you know, the amount of people that was in my particular pen, it was our bathroom. You dig what I'm saying? So even though you had to wait about 45 minutes in that line, it was our bathroom.
Right.
And, you know, if we there at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., parade don't start to what, 10, 11. It was supposed to start at 10. It didn't start to closer to 11.
I got a backstory on that. So I heard that the players couldn't get to their float because the crowd kept them from getting to the float.
Absolutely.
You know, so mind you, at this spot, we're waiting. It's 10 o'clock and we're waiting. And it's like, oh man, like, you know, 10 minutes go by, 20 minutes go by. And then a girl that was standing next to me, I guess she knew somebody that was on the other side of the parade route, giving updates. And by the way, cell service was some trash. Cell service was trash the entire time.
My phone died out there, so it was a wrap.
I couldn't post I posted a little bit of content, but I couldn't check X. I couldn't check a whole lot of stuff. And, you know, my bars was low. I had SOS on the phone at one point. It was wild, man. I think it was because there was a lot of cellular data just all into one, just trying to fight each other, right? So then so as I'm standing right here, it's 10:20, and then it's like, man, where's the first float at? So the lady gets a text from somebody saying that they're delayed because they can't get to the float, and the reason they couldn't get to the float was because some of the people along the parade route were blocking their way of getting to the float. So it was about 10:40 when we saw the first float.
Finally started. Yeah.
It was about 10:40.
And that's unfortunate, because clearly with this view, you're barely going to get cell service. And this is why I say they had room in the parade, because my homeboy was live streaming. So
Yeah.
where we were, there was cellular service because it wasn't as packed.
Right.
I'm understand what I'm saying?
I believe it. I believe it.
So seeing this, and I mean that was the real shocker because it was like leaving out of the pens, out of parade. Once you hit where everybody was at, oh, I said it's a whole nother parade on this side.
Right. I got another clip for you here. So here comes a fire truck down Broad Street, right? And it's like again, like where you think you going, yo? And here come the booze.
Yeah.
Here come the booze.
If anybody wanted to drive, they needed to go the parade route. Emergency vehicles included.
Yeah, right. There you go. Because it's not like we didn't see any during the actual parade on the route. That is
correct. They were in the parade. They were in the parade. First responders, street sweepers, they were all in the parade.
Yeah, they got a call. That's the only explanation for it, man. They got a call, and they figured, hey, we got the truck, we got the siren, we could bully these people. Nah.
No. And see, this is still early, right?
This is still early.
Can you imagine what it would have been like after the parade if they had tried this? After everything was said and done, and they had tried this?
Oh, they'd have got bum rush, bro.
They would have got bum rush. They would have. The crowd would have taken over the fire truck. No doubt about it in my mind.
Yeah,
none. We saw that.
Facts.
I know you're gonna post more clips because we walked past the police cars that was getting knocked through and so forth and so on. So that's what I mean. This vehicle out in this type of crowd, you know what's about to happen.
Oh yeah.
And my man going up the ladder.
And my man had the nerve to get out the truck like he was about to do something.
Oh, no way.
I was like, I don't think he was really, really thinking he gonna do something, but he just got out the truck, and I'm trying to figure out why you getting out the truck, because there's nothing, you can't get to your destination wherever you're trying to go through here. No. And you're right. Mad cats would have been trying to get up on top of this truck for a nice view.
Absolutely. Put the ladder up. Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
So here they go clapping now. So now they got no choice but to get back. Yep.
Ain't nowhere to go.
Ain't got no choice. Look
at that. And see this route. So where you showing straight through there is where the parade was.
Yep. That's
straight through there. You know what I'm saying? Man, you're not getting all these people that couldn't get in the parade.
Right.
Man, please. You ain't getting through that.
And mind you, again, I'm standing on top of a bench. So that's why I'm able to get this view above the crowd.
Sheesh.
Everybody wasn't fortunate enough to do that. I think the bench was probably, that bench might have been no more than maybe 15 feet wide. So, again, I'm boxed in. There's there's two people behind me that's boxed in. There's a person next to me on both sides. They boxed in. We all trying to, get in where we fit in. We had the best view. From this intersection. From
where y'all were. Yeah.
We really had the best view, because even if you couldn't tell who the players were as the floats were going by, I could zoom right on in and tell exactly who it was.
I almost want to send you my video clips so you can show the people. I almost want to send you my videos because I got every float. I got every person that was on the float. Man, I saw so many people.
Yep.
Your girl, what's Martha Stewart? Was it Martha Stewart?
Oh, you talking about, I know who you're talking about. Not Martha Stewart.
Not Martha Stewart. What's her name?
SVU.
The lady, the lady on
Captain Benson. Benson.
They favor each other.
Yep.
She was wilding.
I bet.
She was wilding on Jay.
I remember she sat next to Taylor Swift in what was that, game 4? and they was going crazy. So
she was wilding on the float. Everybody on the float was chill. Monica Manette was chill.
Yep.
Jalen and his people was chill. You get right to the end of their float, and you see old girl like,
yeah. She was having herself a day. I mean, she was having herself moments, throughout these playoffs and everything. She's a big fan, though. She's
still going wild as we speak.
Oh, I bet. But yeah, shout out to her, man. She got her moment in, man, for sure.
Shout out to SVU. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. So another funny moment. So that building right there, a little bit to the left. So that's the New York Stock Exchange. And you can see all the scaffolding right there. And you see people on top of that scaffolding, right? So if you look like right there, as I play the video, you're gonna see people trying to climb up the scaffolding and walk across the board here. Now, I didn't get footage of this because I was busy doing something, but this ladder right here, there's a ladder right there coming from one of these windows. So somebody that works in that building went through that window, got on that ladder, walked down that ladder, and I could tell he worked there because he had on a long sleeve powder blue shirt and everything. He had slacks on and all that.
Right.
Man, he got down there. It's like, man, y'all get y'all asses up out of here, man. He was running up and down the scaffold trying to get these kids off the scaffolding and stuff. And the next thing you know, the cops is up there.
Well, see, I was about to say,
yeah,
if it ain't no cops, just play ball.
Oh, sure, for sure. Like he could do all he want. Like
he could talk all he want.
Right. But unless you get law enforcement up there, it's fair game. But nah, them cops got up there real quick. So I'm imagining, and remember, I'm a block away from the parade route. So I'm imagining that this scaffolding circles the entire building. So there's scaffolding along the parade route as well. So they were running towards the front of the building to get to Broadway.
Smart.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
I hope some of the folks made it.
I hope so too.
I hope some of the folks made it before my man came out, shutting it down. I hope some people actually got to the front, got to the parade via scaffold, climbed down, got in one of the pins, and was good.
Yeah, because that's a
success story. I'd love to see that video.
Yeah, it's a success story until it's not a success story. Until somebody, liability and all that stuff takes place. These construction companies, and I work in construction, so I kind of know these things. But these guys put these scaffolding structures up here, and they got to secure the stuff. They got to, everything got to be secured because if somebody fall or one loose screw and somebody injured themselves, then somebody gonna be liable for it. And more times than not, it's gonna be the people that put it up.
Right.
So this was one of the cooler moments. So this was so you had to have seen marching bands throughout the route, right?
Absolutely.
So this was one of the marching bands that was so nice enough, and I don't know whose decision it was, but they decided, hey, let's come down Broadway and exchange. And
that's dope.
They just gave the people a show. There's the drum right there. You had a few other people with, playing their instruments. You had somebody with the saxophone, somebody with the tuba and everything. So that was pretty cool. It was more like it's as if they was trying to hype us up. We're standing there for hours. We're getting a little impatient, and these folks decide to come through, man, and put on a good show. So that was one of the bands, because there was like maybe two other ones that came through. There was
plenty of bands in the parade for sure.
Yeah. So that was that was pretty dope right there. So there's the float right there. Look at that. Look at the view. Look at how I was able to zoom in. Like that's like crazy. It's wild. It's so wild. I think my arm got tired there, but just to zoom in. And I think that was Spike right there. I'm not sure, but I thought that was Spike toward the front.
I mean, I definitely saw Spike. You saw Clyde had his own car, so I'm not. I know if you guys got to catch that or not.
I don't think I caught Clyde's car. I don't think I caught that.
Only because where the view is, it looks like it's too short for where you can't see.
Yeah,
to the street.
That makes sense.
You can see the buses because they're tall, but
the
regular vehicles, not so much.
Yeah, that makes sense. That kind of makes sense though. But yeah, man. Oh, I did see Mitch's truck. I did. We were able to catch that.
Yeah, that was. It was raised so high. It was about as high as the buses. So
So your thoughts on the lady that got her thong pulled on the street pole? I'm sure it. I mean, it's been going viral, and she even did a right? She even did a video in documentary format, her background was just like gray white, as if she was on 60 Minutes or something, trying to tell her story and stuff.
It was great.
Yeah,
and I mean, all is fair in war. You know what I'm saying? And light poles and positioning and I mean. Yeah. That's the New York way.
That girl got she got pulled off that thing though. When she was coming down,
she got slung off the pole. I mean, she grabbed her and threw her off. I mean, it was a thing of beauty. You thought you was watching a cartoon or something. I mean, she went flying.
yeah. That was wild. That was wild, and to see her tell the story afterward, I in my mind I actually thought to be like, you know what, maybe I could, pull her in for the show or something.
That would have been amazing.
Get her side of it and everything. Folks have already, got her, on their platforms and stuff and talking about it, but talking about other stuff also too. So, that was certainly one of the more funny highlights of the day there.
Oh yeah, hilarious. And I mean, listen, let this be a lesson to you all out here. If somebody is standing above you, you probably don't want to either try to push their feet off from where they're standing, or you don't want to pull their leg, especially when it's danger of hurting their own selves. Yeah. So let this be a lesson to you people. Keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah, amen.
Okay? Keep your hands to yourself. Use your mouth to communicate. Keep your hands to yourself.
Amen to that, man. Because I swear people don't know how to keep their hands to themselves, man.
Listen, you don't communicate with your hands unless, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unless you want to go there.
Yeah.
And
there were some fights. I mean, one almost happened like 3 feet from me, but it de-escalated quickly. But there were fights elsewhere throughout the route that I caught glimpses of. I think it was a streamer that I guess he had bodyguards with him, and he put his hands on homeboy, and then homeboy just got wrapped up by his security or whatever. And then I think it was another one where it was like, I don't know, they had to be teenagers or something, but it had to be like 3 or 4 different scraps going on at the same time. And all kinds of stuff, man. It's like, so y'all just here to scrap. Y'all ain't here for the, cause y'all not real fans. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
New York will be New York. You know what I'm saying? In any circumstance.
Yeah.
We may be out here to celebrate. However, again, keep your hands to yourself.
Facts.
I can't stress, because all of those events happened because somebody wanted to get. Oh, there's my wife. She came on in here because somebody
salute to wifey.
Oh yeah, she laughing in the background. She cracking up. Those fights started because people wanted to communicate with their hands. You don't do that. Talk with your lips, with your tongue, with your mouth. Otherwise you get yoked up by security or get swung on or stomped out or you know, I mean, I can't stress this enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Tough for those people that got beat down on
Parade
Thursday.
day. It's supposed
Yeah.
nobody got up thinking I'm gonna get beat up today.
Yeah.
That girl that got slung off the light pole, she didn't think that
Mm-hmm.
was gonna happen today.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
she didn't think that was gonna happen on parade day. She didn't think that she would go viral from getting slung like a rag doll off that light pole. I mean, light in
Mm-hmm.
the ass, boy. Wasn't she
I know,
trying?
right?
She had to be light, about 80
One
pounds. Had to be
one
one
arm.
hand.
Yeah, one hand.
Out of there.
Yeah.
Out of
Yeah.
there.
She I
Telling
mean
you, look
she I
like a
mean
whole
she
cartoon.
I mean she looked brolic too. So, you can't sleep on them New York girls. They more brolic than you think.
100%. I mean, strong. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, to the point to where you saw old girl trying to pull her down, and she just twerked on her, dog. That's got to be
Mm-hmm.
the most sad thing ever when you trying to fight, because all you see is them little hands like,
I know, right?
right.
Yeah, she was hitting her ass, and I'm like, that ain't doing what you think it's gonna do. What?
Nothing. She used to that.
Yeah. What are we doing?
She used
What
to
are you
that.
doing? You know?
You
You know,
know, it
that sucks.
hey, tough, man, tough. You know,
Yeah.
she tried to defend herself, tried to defend her honor, but
Mm-hmm.
she ain't want that smoke. Because if
Nope.
old girl had got off that light pole and got with her, the way
Right.
she threw her off that light pole, I mean, let's be real. You know, old girl should have took the L and dashed off.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Go somewhere else. Get off camera because you
Get off
already
camera.
embarrassed yourself at
Yeah,
that
I mean,
point.
you're just continuing to, get out of there.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Hey, man. While I got you, you've had some movement in the NBA. I just talked about before you came on. Mo Diawara getting $10 million over multiple years. It's nice to lock him up because I think he's a guy that's got some upside. Now he'll still be on the bench, but I think he's got a chance to really move up in the rotation. And we saw a lot of him this past season. We saw
Yes, we
Mike
did.
Brown deploy him in certain situations, and he could rebound. He could go to the basket. He could dunk. He could
He could
shoot the
defend.
three. He could do all sorts of different things.
Yeah.
And I think it was important for the Knicks to, and again, it's not something that's, it's not the Giannis trade, which I'll get your opinion on in a bit, but
Right.
this for the Knicks, this is a good thing. This is a really, really
Absolutely.
good thing for the Knicks to do. So
Young
your
depth.
thoughts.
Young depth. And, another important young player that knows our system,
Mm-hmm.
that's homegrown talent, and we're able to extend him for multiple years for pennies. I mean, that's what 10 million is in the NBA today.
Yeah.
If we're looking at the mark,
Mm-hmm. Over multiple years now. So
yeah,
it's
multiple
not
years. So it's not like
yeah.
a 1 year, 10 million deal. It's multiple
Right.
years. So even if we got him for 2 years, that's $5 a year. You know what I'm saying? If we got him for 3, even better. You're talking 3.3. You know what I'm saying? So a very good move by our front office. And as a Knicks fan who has gone through front office woes forever, we finally seem to be righting the ship, right? We've already done that. They've already proven that they know what they're doing. Jalen helped out tremendously, taking less money.
Mm-hmm.
I believe
He gonna get paid though. He's gonna get paid though.
Yeah. I mean, trust me, he's gonna get paid.
Yeah.
However, I think there's another person that might take a pay cut as well. That person being Karl Anthony Towns.
I knew he was gonna say Cat.
Absolutely.
I knew he was gonna
because
say Cat.
he has already talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
And with Dolan already talking about not going into the second apron, pretty much the writing is on the wall.
Yeah.
So there will be people that we lose, but there will also be people that we retain. Okay?
Yep.
And I'm not one of those people to be like, well, as long as the core is intact, because I feel like the core includes several of our bench players as part of that core.
Yeah.
That second unit that can come in and play with starters or play as a second
Yeah.
unit altogether,
With
I
Deuce
believe
being one
is
of them.
part of our core.
Yeah.
So by signing Mo and getting him back, I believe that is a start to maintaining that young secondary core. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? We
Mm-hmm.
know what's that boy name? Pacone
Oh, Dadier.
whatever.
Dadier.
We know
Mm-hmm.
he's getting traded. He's been
Mm-hmm.
we've been trying to get rid of him for a while now. So we know he's going to be out of here, and we know a couple other people will be out of here. But it's important to recognize that talent, and because we have 3 picks in this year's draft, we're going to increase with that young talent.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to plug certain holes.
Yeah.
Our scouting team is going to look for people that can impact this team right away, right? So that's the great thing about, and I won't get into NIL and all this stuff, but that's part of the great thing about it, because the young guys are staying in school and getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
The older guys that have done their time in college, who is more experienced and ready to play, are coming out.
Yep.
That helps us, especially the later picks. You know what I'm saying? That's coming. That's just more experience and so forth and so on. That's not going to be looking for a lot of money and so forth. So we can plug holes. So
Right.
I'm really
Right.
excited about what we're doing as a front office, and I'm just looking and waiting to see how we're going to spread this money around.
Yeah, everything you said was dead on in regard to the front office, and they've made some mistakes in the past, but I think the thing that I love about them is that when they know they made a mistake, they don't wait 2 years to correct it. They deal with it right then and there. Like when they
Kevin
brought
Knox
in,
was a mistake.
yeah. Well, that wasn't under Leon Rose, but
It
I'm
was not
talking.
under. It wasn't under Leon Rose. It was not, because if it was Leon Rose, we know we would have had a totally different player.
Yeah, this was more so. I'm talking about the Kemba Walker signing. I'm talking about Evan Fournier. Talking about that signing. They were 2 mistakes. Kemba was past his prime. It looked cool because he from the
from
town,
the city.
and it was cool, nostalgic, but it
Not
didn't work out. And
not at all.
Fournier, while he could shoot the ball, he just didn't play no defense. So
And if you're not playing defense, you're not getting on the floor with Tibbs. So,
exactly,
and
exactly.
that's what was unfortunate, because I was happy about the Evan Fournier signing. I was like, we got a shooter. Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
We need
right,
that.
right. I
And
know,
Tibbs was
I
like,
know.
but he don't play no defense. I'm like,
Yeah,
Tibbs, but he can score.
he could score. Yeah, I mean, especially when he saw the Celtics. Every time he saw the Celtics, he was lighting it up. So yeah, that confused me also. But they realized then and there, because he was still on the roster after Brunson got there. He was still
Right.
there,
I remember
and they
riding that pine.
eventually, right?
Riding that
Yeah,
pine.
right. It got to a point where he said, "Yo, I can't play this dude no more," and he just rode the bench the rest of the way. I'll be honest with you, that Heat series in the second round, that Brunson's first year, I was begging Tibbs to put Fournier out there, because Brunson was the only one giving us something,
Mike
and
Brown would
nobody
have
else
did it.
was doing it. Oh, I
Mike Brown
know.
would have did it.
Oh, I know. Trust me, man. I was dying for Evan Fournier to make an appearance
Yeah.
in that series, but by then they just knew that he was as good as gone. So, but I like the fact overall that they're making the decisions, and up to this point, they're making smart signings. They're not going into I don't know if they're not going to go into the second apron. I know that was talk, but we'll see what happens here, and
You
especially
don't
with the
believe you
draft
don't
on
believe
tonight.
Jimmy? You don't believe Jimmy?
Dolan,
You don't believe him?
I don't know what to think of Dolan at this point, man. Like, I try to, I try to, as a fan of the team, and yes, somebody has to own the team, and I get it, but I don't have much dialogue for Dolan really at this point. Look, I give him credit though. I give him credit. He hired the right people. He hired Leon Rose and he got Worldwide West in there, and he's letting those guys do their thing. And I guess it came out that he was the one that made the decision on Tibbs to be let go.
He did.
Okay, well, as surprising as that was at the time, and I thought a lot of people overreacted. I thought some people, I thought it was split. I thought, I think the one thing I think everyone could agree on was that it was shocking at the time it happened because it wasn't expected. He just got an extension. He just got paid. He just took the team, the furthest they've ever been in 20-something years. Obviously it doesn't give you a reason to, keep somebody if you think they can't, if you think that their ceiling is that. But, he made the call. It was a gutsy call to make on Leon's part. And Mike Brown was just sitting right there, man. And I got to tell you, man, I was saying this throughout the finals. How did the Kings look in all this? Because you had De'Aaron Fox on the other side in the finals.
De'Aaron on the other side of the finals, but I thought you were talking about that Kings team. Yeah.
Well, I am talking about that Kings team that Mike Brown took to the playoffs a couple seasons ago. And they fired Mike Brown midseason. They traded De'Aaron Fox midseason, and voila, both these guys is in the NBA Finals, and you guys are back to being the Sacramento Kings.
That's why lighting the beam is so overrated. That's why. That's why. Because there's certain organizations that are just losers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The New York Jets. All right. Let's go. Baseball. Who's a terrible baseball team that's been
the Rockies. Rockies are terrible.
The Rockies. Yeah. It's just it's certain franchises that are just trash.
Yeah.
The Cleveland Browns.
Mm-hmm. That's a great example right there.
And every one of these teams I name have a lot of fans. And listen, as a Knicks fan, okay, I've received a lot of persecution. So I know what being in the basement looks like.
Yep.
I know what being at the bottom looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I know what being the worst team in the league looks like, and you still don't get the number one pick. Okay. I know what that looks like. So I can speak on other trash organizations, and all I can say to them is you better take a page out of Jimmy's book, because he went and finally hired the right people. Mm-hmm. And what he also did was he removed himself from those day-to-day decision-making things and let the basketball people run it.
Yep. He went to go play with his band. Go do what you do.
Go play with your band. That's why we had so many damn bands in the parade, because of those. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, go do what you do. Go do.
I'm surprised his band wasn't on the float. I'm really surprised.
Yeah, that part.
You know what I'm saying?
That part.
So that part. I mean, to go and hire a Mike Brown, and I told my folks at Sports Laugh and Chill, shout out to my people, Gina.
Shout out to the crew.
Wise, you know what I'm saying? Jordan, Big Fella, Rod Callie, my crew. What up, Unc, Dennis? You know what I'm saying? So I told them when we made the trade, or not the trade, but when we hired Mike Brown, I said Mike Brown gonna get a Knicks a championship. This gonna be the coach to do it. And they laughed at me, Trey. They laughed at me.
I remember.
You know what I'm saying?
They was hating, bro.
They was hating on me, man. They laughed at me, man.
I think that's why I think that's why they haven't done a show in a while, because they know they know.
The shows is coming back, because we've already had meetings. Because I told them I'm on a championship run right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on a historic championship run right now.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks made history, and those LA Rams gonna make history. Okay, so for people that don't know who my football team is, hey, you never heard of a guy named Myles Garrett that we took from that dumpster fire in Cleveland?
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Man. Okay, and where's the Super Bowl at again? It's in Los Angeles, right?
It's SoFi.
Hey.
Yeah. That's why my boy AD talking about coming back. And let me just insert this real quick. If Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett is on the same defensive line, if we're playing your team, your game plan is wrecked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Your game plan is wrecked. I'm going to tell you right now, every quarterback cannot go under center against those two people on the line. They're going to be in shotgun the entire play calls.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. You won't have time. All right, that's all I got to say about the Rams. Y'all stay tuned, for September. When we get into that and this Scully changed to that LA joint and this scarf changed from the Knicks to the Rams. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm rocking Knicks gear all throughout football season, man. I don't care, man. I don't care.
And there are times that I will as well. Because you know what? In order to have that championship DNA that Draymond likes to talk about, you have to have championship attire.
Right.
To cross over. You know
like,
what I'm saying?
I don't feel like I've been insufferable yet to people. I don't feel like I've gotten to that insufferable stage just yet. Maybe it's in its infancy, but I think as the weeks and the months go by, I think I'm gonna find my moments to where I'm just gonna rock Knicks gear no matter what event I'm at. Look, if you invite me to your kickoff party in September,
right,
I might pull up in Knicks gear.
100%.
That's how froggy I'm feeling right now.
And it is nothing wrong with making that statement because, you can say whatever you want to say. It's been 53 years for us. That's all erased.
Yeah.
Because in 2026, Trey, there can only be one.
That's right.
Okay.
On the mountaintop. That's
there can only be one. What's your boy Nick Wright on what's his show? First Things First.
I know you're talking about.
Nick's Mountain. You know what I'm saying? Mahomes Mountain. You understand what I'm saying? There can only be one at the top. And it's the New York Knickerbockers.
That's right.
So I could care less about any Golden State fans that I have to deal with on Sports Laugh and Chill that's talking about, we got 4 and we got blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you something. Y'all was trash before Steph and before Clay. You understand?
Yeah.
So
I
don't want to hear nobody. Yeah. If you are not a Lakers fan, if you are not a Celtics fan, I don't want to hear your mouth.
Yeah. Because everybody else has had a period of, being bad, So
and I can go as far as saying if you're not a Chicago Bulls fan or a Detroit Pistons fan, just because of how those franchises were, you know what I'm saying? The run that Jordan had, the run that Isaiah had with those bad boys, you know what I'm saying? So I can include those teams in there, and the Chicago Bulls ain't sniffed nothing in a whole long time.
Detroit,
Detroit looking good right now.
Bulls been
absolutely
for a minute.
Absolutely. So if you are any other team, OKC, who's recently won, and they said we've had 8 different winners in the last 8 years. So whoever you are that feels like you can challenge me because I'm a Knicks fan and we didn't win for a very long time. Let me let y'all know something. We got 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
3 and counting. 3 and
counting. Because I'm almost bold, Trey. I'm feeling froggy. Okay?
Go ahead, man.
I'm getting hyped because I'm feeling froggy, and I'm almost ready to say that next year will be the first repeat champion in 8 years. I'm feeling. Depending on how we construct how this lineup looks, and what we do, and the tweaks that we make, and so forth. I'm feeling froggy.
You got every reason to be froggy. The Giannis trade to the Heat, which, congrats to Giannis on getting out of Milwaukee and everything.
We know where he want to really be, though.
I know. Oh, I know. But the Heat, they did something good, but I don't think the Heat is a finished product right now because they gave up a lot. Like they gave up picks, they gave up 3 players. They still gonna have to tinker with their roster. So as a Knicks fan,
what do we say as a Knicks fan, Trey?
I don't fear the Heat. I like the move that they made. I don't fear the Heat at all. And Boston, I think Boston's got an issue where I think people know already that they don't want to keep Jaylen Brown. They people know. So now you got to deal with that, right? So right now, yeah, the Knicks are number 1 in the East right now until proven otherwise.
I got Jaylen Brown going to Atlanta.
He's from there, right? Okay, that's an interesting one. That
I got the Jaylen for Jaylen trade.
Okay, really?
So
Jalen Johnson?
Jalen Johnson, young
Really?
asset.
Really?
Oh yeah, because that's what it's going to take.
Mm-hmm. To get rid of him, you mean?
That's what it's going to take in order to get JB.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you really trying to make a move, Atlanta,
mm-hmm.
Oh, you go get JB.
I just don't see the fit with Tatum in Boston. Maybe that's why I'm a little like.
Well, we might get 3-teamish. We might get a 3-team.
Oh yeah,
maybe
true.
Even a 4-team involved to move some things around. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So
that's true.
Jalen might not even go to Celtics. He may go to, somewhere like maybe a Utah trades Markin. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Celtics. Jalen goes to Utah. Who knows how those things can fall, but we know that JB's time in Boston is pretty much up. We know that.
Yeah. It feels that way.
Well, they've had him on the trade block way too many times.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you go back? And even if you say, oh, this is an isolated thing, this was Giannis involved, so you know what I'm saying, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we can understand that. However, it's still out there. And the fans ain't feeling JB in Boston, bro. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not.
Even though there is an opinion out there that if you had to trade one of the two, that Tatum should be the one to get traded. The problem is that I don't know that the fan base is going to be pretty happy about that. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense. Like,
it's Jason Tatum's team.
It's Jason Tatum's team, but Jaylen Brown is kind of like the dog on that team, and he's proven it. Like, Finals MVP, Conference Finals MVP, like, and an MVP candidate this past season. He's proven that he could be an A1.
So let me ask you this question, because I want to get your opinion. KD and Russell Westbrook in the early OKC days.
Yeah.
I almost kind of look at JB and JT as that KD and Russell Westbrook type of combo, where KD's game was more finesse and Russell Westbrook was the dog.
Interesting. Okay.
And we're not, and I want people to think about this as not as the Russell Westbrook of today. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Because it's easy to be like, oh, Dan, how the heck can you compare Russell Westbrook to Jaylen Brown?
Yep.
I'm not talking about this version of Russell Westbrook that we see today.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the triple-double average Russell Westbrook early on, when, you know what I'm saying, the problem was, Russ was waving off KD. You hear me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I look at that and I say, Russ, who the bulldog, he wasn't requesting no trade. You hear me? He was in no matter what.
He was in there, yeah.
Which is why OKC loves him so much.
Yeah, because he stayed. He stayed longer than KD did. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He stayed. Facts.
And chose to stay. Okay. KD being the more finesse, quiet type player, just like JT, on up out of there. Okay.
Yep.
So I say this to say JB will probably have to be traded out of there, because he's not going to make a move unless he requests a move.
Right. There's no free agency with these two guys. They're both locked in under big, huge deals. Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's not going to be a situation where, you know what I'm saying, JT come up and he got 1 year remaining on his contract. That ain't going to never happen.
Right.
Not during this time. You know what I'm saying? So, so it'll be interesting to see what moves they make for JB. Speaking on Giannis in Miami, how you feel about that?
I was surprised kind of late that Miami was sort of a last ditch effort to get him, because I talked to you about this when we was at the Rutherford on Thursday.
Absolutely.
I thought there were 3 teams. I thought OKC had the most to give up. I thought Boston was in it because of the rumors surrounding Jaylen Brown, and I thought the sleeper was going to be Minnesota. Absolutely. And then I thought a Julius Randle trade for Giannis was.
Wait till we talk about that.
Imminent, right?
Wait till we talk about that Julius Randle thing.
Yeah, and I don't have much time because I got to let my homeboys, who run the network, they're going to do a draft show in 15 minutes. But
gotcha.
But so yeah, I'm surprised that the Heat kind of came in, snuck through the back door last minute, had a deal, and I think based on the rumored trade packages, Milwaukee kind of had to, pull the trigger. They didn't have a choice. Yeah, right.
There was no other team Giannis would have signed an extension with. So he had them literally handcuffed. And because we were no longer an option, which we were the number one, we're still the number one option. Giannis got traded to Miami and he still want to come to New York. Let's make that very crystal clear. You understand what I'm saying? So he's in Miami because he just had to get out of Milwaukee. All right. So I'm not afraid, like you said, I'm not afraid of Miami. And like we talked about at the Rutherford, the only reason why OKC wasn't going to be an option because it wasn't a big market. That was going to be the hindrance. And the same thing with Minnesota. He would have just been going to next door, you know what I'm saying, across the street.
Even though Minneapolis, and look, I've been to Minneapolis. Like, that's one of the coolest cities I've, ever visited. Like,
small market.
Sure, but Milwaukee, and look, I've never been to Milwaukee, and the way people talk about Milwaukee. I
got family in Milwaukee.
Okay. I don't know. I get the vibe that Minneapolis, there's a lot more to do there than it is in Milwaukee, despite the fact that both places, can get about 8 feet of snow in the winter. But, and A-Rod and, A-Rod got to do a whole lot to keep players there. Like he's got to get creative. He's got to,
That's going to be over soon when Ant decides my time is up in Minnesota.
Close.
Just like every other star that has left Minnesota.
Yeah.
Ant going to say, I want to go play with my homeboy Cat and JB. And when that happens.
Oh man. Hey, we here, baby. We here, baby.
We here, baby.
We here. Ant-Man, come on, man. You can make a whole lot of money. Hey. You can go to Brooklyn, you can go to Queens, what's up?
Real quick.
I know, right?
I feel bad for Julius Randle. Welcome back to the city, Julius. You're in Brooklyn, you're in the Nets, you're in the dumpster of the league. You know what I'm saying? They pretty much gave you away for peanuts. Yeah. That's trash, bro. Like that, you traded Cat for Randle and Dante, and you gave away Julius for nothing.
Yeah, that's how fast they wanted to get rid of him.
A salary dump,
right?
To the Brooklyn Nets.
That's how fast they was like, man, we're not dealing with this. And you read some of the tea leaves and stuff, right? So after they got bounced out by San Antonio, the way the players was talking in them pressers, talking about we got to get rid of the moodiness and all this stuff. I was like, I know what y'all talking about.
That's Julius.
I know what y'all talking about. Yeah.
That's Julius.
That's why I was like, yo, they gonna get Giannis. That's the moment I was like, they gonna try to get Giannis. They gonna try to, one way or another, they're gonna get Julius Randle up out of there.
And Milwaukee said we don't want him.
Yeah. I get it. But welcome back. Welcome back, Julius. Welcome back to the city, man.
Welcome back to the city, Julius. Is gonna be the Nets and Knicks game just got better. It just got better.
And, kind of full circle because, Julius was one of the pieces that helped our team, get back to relevancy. Maybe he can do a similar thing with the Brooklyn Nets. Now, there are miles and miles and miles away from a championship, but hey, he might make the Nets a little bit relevant. He might, him and
I
Michael
mean,
Porter Jr.
Julius can do that. I mean,
Yeah,
him as the player can do that.
yeah.
They just traded Nick Claxton, man. They ain't even got nobody. Listen, it's and you see how they did. What was my guy that was in Brooklyn that they gave away for nothing too?
Cam Thomas.
Cam,
Cam
right
Thomas. Mm-hmm.
now if Nick was still there, and then you add a Julius Randle and a couple, you're like, oh okay, they. But neither one of those guys are there.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I still think they're far away from. I mean, really, playoff contention. I would say that they're still far away from playoff contention. That they're still the bottom 5 in the Eastern Conference.
Julius won't be there in 2 years.
Yeah, unfortunately. But hey, Dan, man, this was dope, man.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you coming through here. We talking championship parades and our experiences, and this was dope to do, man. Hey, let the people know where they could find you at on social media and some of the things you got coming up.
Absolutely, man. Y'all can find me. My handle is right here in my name at Dan Marty Moore 33 on X, on Insta. You know what I'm saying? TikTok, you can find me. Sports Laugh and Chill. Shout out to our podcast. Trey has been a guest on the show. Will be a guest on the show upcoming. And we love what those barbershop boys are doing, man, at the podcast. Always following along. I'm always tapped in, watching their clips. So at Sports Laugh and Chill, we'll be coming back up. Football season is coming back in. We're not doing nothing for baseball. We're not doing nothing for nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So we'll be dropping in, getting things in. The next big thing is the NBA draft tonight. So after that, we just in the dog days of the summer. You know what I'm saying? We about to start watching Summer Olympics or something, or swimming or track.
World Cup, man.
Well, World Cup is here, but World Cup will be when it's done, it's over. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
You know, so hopefully it can carry us into late July. You know what I'm saying? Early August, training camp, get back for football, and then we right back into the swing of things. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Appreciate you, Trey, for having me on. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching the show, man. Y'all continue to support everybody, and man, y'all have a wonderful evening out here.
All right. Yeah, you too, man. Peace, man. Be safe. And we're gonna catch up. We're gonna catch up on some shows, and we gonna do some NFL division previews. So I'd like for you to be a part of that. So
I'm in, Trey, you got me anytime you need me, bro.
No doubt.
Go Knicks. Let's go. Knicks in 5. Stay alive, baby.
All right, man. Peace.
Right,
Peace out, man.
Peace.
All right. Man, that's the homie right there, man. Dan the man. So glad he could come on with me. We met at the parade. Not really at the parade, but we met at Times Square a little later on during the parade. So that was cool. That was dope to get, some of his perspective on the championship parade route and, some of the things and the happenings that was taking place. So good stuff right there. So I got to head out, y'all, and I got to make room for the homie Sim. Should be doing a NFL. I mean, I'm not NFL. I'm in another sport. NBA draft tonight, 8:00. I think Sim and Tony Crow and some others are going to be doing a draft show for the Knicks in a few minutes. So I'm going to jump off here. Just a couple quick things. I am doing my podcast, the Barbershop Sports Talk podcast. Shout out my guy, Maestro Styles. We'll be on at 8:30 live on the YouTube channel. Check us out. We'll be live on Instagram, Facebook, and a bunch of other social media outlets as well. So, make sure y'all check us both out. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in a few, just in another half hour or so. So I'll be doing that show. And then again, man, shout out to all the Knicks fans that came to the parade that I had a chance to chat with. Shout out to, again, Dan the man. Met him. and a few other folks that I met along the way. So that's it for me for Gotham Grit. Enjoy the draft, folks. I'm sure there'll be some stuff about the Knicks. Maybe in this draft, we'll see what they do with the 24th pick, and we'll see what they do with some of the other picks they got. I think they picked 31, and I think they picked number 55. So that's it for the show, folks. Don't know when I'll be back, but I will be back at some point this summer. Peace, and y'all enjoy the evening.
Pay attention.
1, 2. And check. Home of the greats in Mecca, we in the building where we only make legends. The city where stars are born, it's just the style. From Hoodie Mello, Charles Oakley to Chris Child, you know Gotham Gritty. The city that never sleeps, cause that's the cousin of death. The city not for the weak, cause all we do is compete. It's for the boroughs, we keeping it G. And you know we keep it thorough, rest in peace to Prodigy. Mob Deep.
From the lights of Madison Square Garden to the heartbeat of every bellow. I felt that energy. I carried it.